Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's Voice to the World. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Red alert in India's southern states of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Puducherry as Cyclone Ditwah inches closer after battering Sri Lanka. India carries out Operation Sagar Bandhu to help. Prime Minister Narendra Modi shares his thoughts in Mann Ki Baat's 128th episode, highlights inauguration of world's largest LEAP engine MRO facility and induction of Indian Navy's newest anti-submarine warfare ship, INS Mahe. Global airlines race to fix Airbus jets to avert chaos across Asia and Europe. Air India completes reset on over 90% of its operating A320 family aircraft. U.S. reports little disruption. U.S. Navy vehicles patrolled southern Puerto Rico amid Venezuela tensions. Trump says Venezuelan airspace should be considered closed. South American country describes it as colonialist threat. And India eyes ODI redemption versus South Africa. Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli boost batting lineup. As Cyclone Ditwah edges closer to landfall, states across the region are on high alert, bracing for impact while rushing to safeguard lives and infrastructure. Heavy rains continue to lash Tamil Nadu as IMD issued a red alert for 3 districts and an orange alert for 7 others, warning of intense weather conditions over the next few days. Authorities have scaled up rescue and relief preparedness ahead of the landfall. Here's more in the report.
Cyclone Ditwah left behind catastrophic destruction in Sri Lanka. The system is now intensifying over the sea and now heads towards southern India, with landfall expected by early November 30. The impact zone is bracing for very heavy rainfall, gale force winds and a high risk of urban flooding.
The cyclone storm will continue to move north-northwestwards and reach near North Tamil Nadu, Puducherry coast by 30th early morning. Therefore, under its influence, already the rainfall has commenced along the coastal Tamil Nadu. We are expecting heavy to extremely heavy rainfall at a few places over Tamil Nadu and South Andhra Pradesh, Puducherry also. And this rainfall can lead to localized inundation, flooding.
In Tamil Nadu, the cyclone has already unleashed relentless rain across several districts. The IMD has issued a red alert for 3 districts and an orange alert for 7. Air travel has been hit hard. 54 flights cancelled across the state as weather worsens. Tamil Nadu is now in full preparedness mode with 6,000 relief camps already set up, and 28 teams from the NDRF and State Disaster Response Force have been deployed across vulnerable regions.
Within Tamil Nadu, we have very close coordination with the state authorities, and our teams are deployed. The officers are there on team, and the very close coordination is being maintained with the IMD, also the regional IMD, the national IMD, and we are closely monitoring the situation along with the central agencies like NDMA, MHA, and of course the PMO.
Neighboring Andhra Pradesh also braces for 4 consecutive days of heavy rain from November 30 to December 3, with strong winds expected along coastal districts.
Rains will increase, especially over the coastal districts of Andhra Pradesh, especially over south coastal Andhra Pradesh. Light to moderate rain likely at many places on the first day, and at the most places on the second and third days, and at a few places on the 4th, 5th and 6th days. And it will gradually decrease and cause 1 or 2 places over the south coastal Andhra Pradesh on the 7th day.
And in Puducherry, a red alert is in place. Authorities have urged people to avoid stepping out. Fishermen have been warned not to venture into the sea. and a 60-member rescue team from Arakonam is already on the ground. Schools and colleges have also been shut. As Cyclone Ditwah barrels towards India's southern coast, states across the region are on high alert, racing against time to minimize damage and keep people safe. Bureau Report, DD India.
Cyclone Ditwah's aftermath continues to trigger severe flooding and landslides in Sri Lanka. President Anura Kumara Dissanayake has declared a state of emergency to respond to the widespread devastation, with the death toll rising to 153, with 191 people still missing. The Disaster Management Centre said that over 7.74 lakh people across all 25 districts have been affected, while over a lakh are sheltered in 798 relief centres. Search and rescue operations are continuing despite heavy rain, damaged road networks and prolonged disruptions to power and communication services. India is extensively carrying out humanitarian operations in Sri Lanka under Operation Sagar Bandhu, with the Indian Air Force providing humanitarian assistance by positioned Mi-17 V5 helicopters in Colombo for swift humanitarian assistance and disaster relief operations. IAF transport aircraft are earmarked for large-scale evacuation of Indian nationals, with multiple missions planned from Trivandrum and Hindon. Alongside evacuation, essential relief material including Bhishma cubes and medical supplies are also being airlifted to support affected communities. The IAF remains steadfast in safeguarding lives and extending timely assistance to our neighbours in need. Indian Navy is also assisting under Operation Sagar Bandhu, with its 2 helicopters rescuing 8 people trapped by severe flooding in Pannala. In total, 4 Indian Navy helicopters are currently deployed across Sri Lanka under Operation Sagar Bandhu, including 2 aircrafts operating from the Indian Navy's aircraft carrier INS Vikrant. Besides, the National Disaster Response Force has mobilized humanitarian assistance and disaster relief in Sri Lanka. C-130 carrying NDRF team left for Colombo this morning. Apart from this, NDRF has already deployed 2 self-contained search and rescue teams to assist in affected regions, while 80 trained rescuers, including 4 canines equipped with specialized tools and resources, have also been sent to the neighboring country. Guided by the neighbourhood first principle, NDRF stands shoulder to shoulder with the people of Sri Lanka in this hour of need. Meanwhile, Indian High Commission officials have been assisting stranded Indian passengers at the Bandaranaike airport in Colombo, providing them with food, water and other assistance as severe air disruptions continue. It said Indian passengers can also register themselves at the emergency help desk at Bandaranaike airport. The High Commission is making all efforts to provide assistance to the stranded Indian passengers and is facilitating their travel back to India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the nation in the 128th edition of his monthly program Mann Ki Baat on Sunday. During the program, PM Modi highlighted the inauguration of the world's largest LEAP engine maintenance, repair and overhaul facility and the induction of Indian Navy's newest anti-submarine warfare ship, INS Mahe. Further, he urged citizens to celebrate festivals with the spirit of vocal for local, with Christmas and New Year shopping beginning soon. PM emphasized on buying only what is made in India and selling only what carries the hard work of fellow Indians.
मुझे खुशी है कि वोकल फॉर लोकल की भावना को देश के करोड़ों लोगों ने अपने जीवन का हिस्सा बना लिया है। इस साल जब आप त्योहारों की खरीदारी के लिए बाजार में गए होंगे, तो एक बात आप सभी ने महसूस की होगी, लोगों की पसंद और घरों में आने वाले सामानों में एक साफ संकेत दिखाई दे रहा था कि देश स्वदेशी की ओर लौट रहा है। लोग अपने मन से भारतीय उत्पादों को चुन रहे थे। इस बदलाव को छोटे से छोटे दुकानदार ने भी महसूस किया। इस बार युवाओं ने भी वोकल फॉर लोकल अभियान को गति दी। आने वाले कुछ दिन में क्रिसमस और नए वर्ष पर खरीदारी का नया दौर शुरू होने वाला है। मैं आपको फिर याद दिलाऊंगा, वोकल फॉर लोकल का मंत्र याद रखें। खरीदें वही जो देश में बना हो। बेचे वही जिसमें किसी देशवासी की मेहनत लगी हो।
The winter session of India's parliament is scheduled to begin on December 1st, running until December 19, 2025. Ahead of the session, the government held an all-party meeting on Sunday where Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju met floor leaders from both houses and sought cooperation for smooth functioning of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Rijiju urged opposition parties to actively participate and contribute to the proceedings, aiming to create a vibrant parliamentary system. The session will cover several important legislations, including bills on nuclear energy, higher education, corporate law, and the securities market. It will also feature a full-day discussion on Vande Mataram to mark 150 years of the national song, highlighting the historical significance of verses removed in 1937 and their connection to the partition of India. The session will also see debates on contentious issues, including the voter list revision exercise in 9 states and union territories. The Kashi Tamil Sangamam 4.0 will formally commence with an inaugural function on 2nd of December 2025 at Varanasi's Namo Ghat with the theme Let Us Learn Tamil, Tamil Karkalam. The theme underscores the message that all Indian languages belong to one family. The first train left Kanyakumari with 45 delegates on Saturday and will reach on the 1st of December to Banaras. The initiative celebrates the civilizational links and timeless bonds between Tamil Nadu and Kashi. Over 1,500 delegates will participate in a series of knowledge-sharing sessions aimed at fostering deeper understanding of India's diverse cultural traditions. During the 8-day tour, participants from Tamil Nadu will explore Varanasi and nearby regions, including Prayagraj and Ayodhya, gaining immersive exposure to different facets of life in these cultural centers. They will also visit places of religious and historic significance. The National Defence Academy conducts 149th Passing Out Parade in Pune. The parade is referred as one of its most prestigious and emotionally powerful ceremonies. The Passing Out Parade of the 149th course, scheduled on 30th of November 2025. This grand parade marks the culmination of 3 years of disciplined training, academic learning, physical endurance and leadership development that shape young cadets into future officers of the Indian Armed Forces. Navy Chief Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi, addressing the event, echoed Prime Minister Narendra Modi's view that the road to peace lies in honesty, confronting and resolving the concerns that arise along the way.
Our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, has said, the path of peace also goes through path. And you embody the path that safeguards peace, and today's spectacular parade has reaffirmed that conviction. Your unbridled josh, impeccable turnout, smart drill, and impressive march past truly reflects the exemplary standards that have defined this academy for over 75 years.
The crew of Indian naval ship Sayadri on Sunday conducted a joint yoga session with Philippine Navy personnel. Taking to post on X, spokesperson of the Indian Navy said the crew of INS Sayadri during port call at Manila, Philippines conducted a joint yoga session with Philippine Navy personnel promoting health, mindfulness and reflecting India's message of wellness, unity and harmony. And still to come on this edition of DD India Live. U.S. Secretary of State and other top officials to meet Ukrainian delegation in Florida on Sunday to discuss Ukraine peace deal. President Zelensky warns of most difficult moment in history. In hockey, India versus Belgium in the Sultan Azlan Shah Cup final today.
For the longest time, we treated the Earth's resources as endless. But now the real challenge is to rethink how we use what we already have, because how we manage the environment's resources will dictate our chances of survival.
He applied finely crushed basalt rock on 2 of his 4 fields and says the difference is clear to see.
It's like a window of opportunity. For every hour we are working with this project.
The pumped groundwater is first filtered. Then it goes into a tank and is filtered again. After that, it is collected in this tank where people can access it.
We have been making handicrafts from banana plants for quite some time now. Currently, we produce around 30 products.
You're watching DD India Live. I am Siddharth Bharadwaj. Air India has successfully completed the reset on over 90% of its operating A320 family aircraft that were impacted by European Union Aviation Safety Agency and Airbus's requirement for a software realignment. Air India expects to cover the entire fleet within the timeline prescribed by the EASA, with safety remaining our top priority. Rising to the occasion, the airline worked around the clock to ensure there were no cancellations and the impact on schedule integrity across the network was minimal. Meanwhile, the global airlines scrambled to fix a software glitch on Airbus A320 jets as European plane maker halted hundreds of flights in Asia and Europe and threatened U.S. travel over the busiest weekend of the year. Several carriers on Saturday said they had finished or nearly completed the fix to their fleets. Many reported no impact on operations. The overnight effort by airlines appeared to help head off the worst-case scenario and capped the number of flight delays in Asia and Europe and the United States. A delegation of senior Ukrainian government officials is traveling to the U.S. for talks with their American counterparts on Sunday about a proposed peace plan to end the conflict in Ukraine. In his post on X, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Saturday that the Rustem Umerov, a secretary of Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council, will lead the delegation. He also added that the objective was to swiftly and substantively work out the steps needed to end the conflict. Umerov has been put in charge of the Ukrainian delegation after the previous lead negotiator, Zelensky's powerful chief of staff Andriy Yermak, resigned on Friday, hours after anti-corruption detectives searched his apartment. While a U.S. official said U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and U.S. President Donald Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner will meet Ukrainian officials on Sunday in Florida. President Emmanuel Macron will host his Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky on Monday for talks in Paris. The French presidency announced the two leaders will discuss the conditions for a just and lasting peace, said the official on Saturday as a senior Ukrainian delegation headed to Washington. U.S. Navy vehicles patrolled southern Puerto Rico as the United States increased pressure on Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's government. President Donald Trump said the airspace above and surrounding Venezuela should be considered closed in its entirety. In a statement, Venezuela's government condemned Trump's comments, describing them as a colonialist threat against the South American country's sovereignty and incompatible with international law. The Trump administration has been weighing Venezuela-related options to combat what it has portrayed as Maduro's role in supplying illegal drugs that have killed Americans. The socialist Venezuelan president has denied having any links to the illegal drug trade. Trump has also authorized the covert CIA operations in the country. Colombian authorities raised the alert level for the Prasar volcano from yellow to orange on Saturday following a surge in seismic activity and changes in volcanic behavior. However, the Colombian Geological Service said an eruption is not confirmed as imminent. Observations showed an increase in the frequency and energy of earthquakes, along with gas and ash emissions rising more than 1,000 meters. Officials continue to monitor the situation closely and urged nearby residents to remain alert. Prasar last experienced a major eruption in 1977, and since 1827, at least 14 smaller eruptions have been recorded, making it one of the most active volcanoes in the country. Hong Kong begins 3 days of mourning after devastating high-rise blaze at the Wong Fuk Court that killed over 128 people and 200 are still missing. Hong Kong is observing 3 days of mourning with flags lowered and public events toned down as families wait for news of loved ones still missing. Hundreds gathered in silence as Chief Executive John Lee and officials stood in remembrance, offering prayers for the 128 people who lost their lives. In neighborhoods across the city, people have lit candles, placed flowers outside the burned buildings and comforted grieving survivors. Support centers have been set up to help families identify victims and provide emotional care. Time now for some sports news. India returned to ODIs in Ranchi looking for a fresh start after losing the Test Series 0-2. Injuries have forced another change in leadership with KL Rahul taking charge and Shubman Gill ruled out. Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli remain central to India's plans. South Africa entered the series with momentum and a near full strength side despite Rabada's absence. More in this report.
India returned to limited overs cricket after a difficult few months in test matches. 2 home series defeat, both whitewashers have raised questions. But now the focus shifts firmly to white ball cricket. And it all begins in Ranchi with the first ODI against South Africa. A new start with new challenges for Team India. India come into this series with injuries to both their captains, Shubman Gill and vice-captain Yash Iyer. So it's Rahul who leads the side. India's last ODI series was in Australia where they lost 1-2. The batting looked rusty, which was understandable because they were playing ODI cricket after nearly 9 months. But now the expectation is to produce a smoother and more confident display. As always, attention will be on legendary pair Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. They ended the Australia tour with a brilliant partnership, but Kohli still didn't look completely fluent. Rohit, on the other hand, looked in good touch. Jasasi Jaiswal is likely to open the innings. Rahul could be at number 4, the slot typically occupied by Yash Iyer. This reshuffle opens the door for Rishabh Pant, who returns to ODI cricket for the first time since August 2024. But if Tilak Verma comes in, then the place of Pant in the playing 11 is also doubtful. All-rounder Ravindra Jadeja strengthens the middle order, while Nitish Reddy or Washington Sundar will likely feature as the additional batting option. Talking about South Africa, the Proteas too lost their most recent ODI series 1-2 in Pakistan, struggling on slow spinning pitches. But before that, they beat both Australia and England, which shows how strong and consistent this group has been. They shouldn't face the same difficulties in Indian conditions, especially in Ranchi where the pitch is slow but not turning square. Quinton de Kock has returned in good form and will open with Adrian Markram. And most likely, Temba Bavuma can take his usual number 3 slot. Matthew Beatske may secure the number 4 and Dewald Brevis bring exciting firepower in the middle order. Ewan Herman and Marco Jansen are expected to follow, though there is still a selection dilemma whether to include Real Rickelton or not. As Ranchi gets ready for exciting cricket, there is everything to play for: confidence, momentum and an early lead in the 3-match series. Narayan Singh, DD India, Delhi.
The Indian hockey team will face Belgium in the Sultan Azlan Shah Cup final in Ipoh city of Malaysia today. India entered the final in emphatic fashion after beating Canada by an overwhelming 14-3 scoreline in their final group stage match. Defender Jugraj Singh was India's leading scorer with 4 goals. The Indian team, who returned to the tournament after a gap of 6 years, became the first team to qualify for the final. On the other hand, Belgium remained unbeaten in the tournament. In the league match, they defeated India 3-2. The tournament, which featured 6 teams in a round-robin format, will see the top 2 teams battle it out in the summit clash. That's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.